So the joy of God and his epicness. The word epic begins with the word pi, okay? Just, you know how the word pie and cake both divide by 5 because they're a joy to eat? Well, that's the first 3 letters on the beginning of the word epic, okay? And then complete the 5 fest by saying epicness, okay? And that is stunningly perfect, so we'll get it on the board, okay? The joy of God in his epicness. It's too irresistible because you get the 2 E's, the word pie, the P-I, okay? Remember, a piece of pumpkin pie is pure 5s. It's a joy to eat. And then what you do is the C hooks up with the N and the SS, and that equals 55. So the word epicness, allow me, is 5 plus 25 plus 5 plus 55. What's the message? The joy of God in his own epicness. This whole world, this whole story, this whole massive encyclopedia of the story of God and all the words of God. Okay, it's very, very epic. But the other day, okay, we had the word from the Lord, a piece of, so there you go. There's the 5, the joy of God. All of that adds to the great 90, which equals awesome, which equals oxygen, excuse me, okay? The epicness of God, okay? And whenever you say the blank of God, the whole thing divides by 5, okay? So we started by saying the joy of God is the most obvious, and that's what it's all about, God's pleasure, God's joy. The epicness of God then bumps you up to 170 points, okay? But it's this number 5, the number of joy, which God is giving to us, okay? Loaded with 5s, okay? And it starts, okay? Now this gets really cool because the word center divides by 5. So you talk about a place that is the epicenter of technology, of Gematria research. Now you get the famous word pi, okay? A round piece of pumpkin pie, which you can see I had the other day, okay? And I just want to review how cool this personal word is from the Lord that he spoke to me. A piece of pie. There it is. A piece of pie is triple P-I-E. P-I-E there, P-I-E there, and the rest of the letters perfectly build P-I-E. We walked through that. It's pure joy in a piece of pie, okay? And you can do similar math for a piece of cake, okay? It's pure 5s, pure joy. So with that foundation in P-E-I, oh, it just occurred to me there's a province in Canada known as P-E-I. And there is joy there. The joy of God is there. There's people there made in the image of God. And the province of Prince Edward Island, okay, needs to know that they exist for the joy of God. P-E-I, joy, okay? So, the epicness of God, pure joy. And then you go to the epicenter, whoa, to get your maximum happiness, your maximum joy. So center is pure 5s. Look at all the E's and the T. So center is 65, yeah. And then epi is 30, so epicenter is 95. What's the message? You go to the epicenter of anything in order to get your satisfaction. What are you searching for? You're searching for joy. Okay? You want the joy of God. So, and there's a lot of people, typically, the epicenter is home to many people that need to know about the joy of God. What are they saying? Oh, it's a term from, oh, the epicenter of an earthquake. Yeah, excuse me. Well, I needed to learn what that word meant more appropriately. Is the seismology, is the point on the Earth's surface directly above a hypocenter or focus, the point where an earthquake or an underground explosion originates? Oh, I see. Okay, well, God is sovereign over epicenters, and he's the one that's allowed to do whatever he wants, so now I'm just checking hypocenter. Anyways, but this word, as far as I know, does get used to talk about the center of anything. Like, it's not just with earthquakes, although we know God is, yeah, see, here you go, epicenter. I just want to make sure I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Epicenter.
Yeah, the central point of something, typically a difficult or unpleasant situation, but literally it's just the center point of something. Okay. Oh, upon center. Okay. Fine. All right. Well, definitely the word epic Just screaming out fives from the beginning, the joy of God. Okay. Cool. And then, oh yeah, so what's the most obvious word that comes to mind with epic? Oh, it's an epic story. The story of God is an epic story, okay? And what's so obvious about that is you got, so I'll highlight all the letters that divide by 5 in story, and we already talked about the pi, and then everything else just knits together to make a final 40. So epic story is pure 5, so that equals 130. Okay, so it's the joy of God, this number 5, and it's just plain awesome. The epicness of God, the joy of God, pure 5s.